much, Thomas Weigel. You're here in Vientiane on the agricultural campus, 35 kilometers outside of Vientiane. Why that far away from the main city?
Well, because our main partner from Veterinarians Without Borders is the Faculty of Agriculture. So we have worked very closely together with the faculty on our projects, and for this reason it was most convenient to stay directly at the campus.
You need a lot of land also around the campus for the model productions, or what?
Yes, we have been working in 11 villages around the faculty, nearby the faculty, and one of our insect projects is also located here, about 30 minutes from the faculty.
Tell me a little bit about the organization Veterinarians Without Frontiers that you're part of.
Well, Veterinarians Without Borders is a
sorry.
Yeah, it's a Canadian-based NGO, and our entry point has been initially livestock health. So we have been working in the Americas, in African countries, and also in Asia. Here in Laos we have been working on community health, on veterinary training, and on livestock health, and we also added some livelihoods projects, and this included also our insect farming projects.
So it's a big spectrum of tasks that you do here at the university. How is the collaboration organized with the university?
Well, we have been in our recent project, which will come to an end in December this year. We have been working directly with the faculty. We have been working with staff from the faculty, be it in field work, be it training. We have also involved students, again with training and also field work. And all our project staff is from the faculty.
But financed, it is from the base of your organization that you're working?
The projects are financed from Canada.
From Canada? From the state?
Government of Canada.
Okay, so also the state of Canada is involved in the project here in a way? And
yes.
So what about eating insects in Canada now at the moment? Is it allowed, or is it...
Well, there have been a lot of businesses popping up in America, in the US, and also in Canada. I'm not 100% sure about the regulations in Canada itself, but insects are already traded there in various forms, be it in powdered form, be it as a snack, as a bar, or different flavors. Recently my colleague, he brought me a gift from Canada, and he gave me some samples of these products which are traded there, which was very interesting for me to see. And
so processed insects, or what was it?
Yes, exactly. It was one bag of powdered insects, of powdered cricket flour, then also some roasted crickets with different flavors.
Okay.
And these samples I also showed to our farmers.
All right.
Which was, of course, very interesting, and they were quite shocked when I told them the price.
Okay.
Because the price was extremely high, and it was each sample was just a spoonful.
Yeah. And a lot of this material comes also today from Thailand already. They have a lot of producers already there. So this is kind of like looking into the future a little bit. If you look over the border to Thailand from here, from Laos, it seems a little bit more less developed than Thailand. That's what you see when you're crossing the border here. But this sort of product, you already mentioned that this is one of your own products that you already developed here, or what?
Well, yes, that's we have been, as I mentioned before, we have been working very closely with the faculty, and the faculty has a food processing unit, and as part of a former FAO project, they had developed insect-based products. One is like this chili paste with crickets, and also cricket chips.
Yeah.
So with our farmer group, our cricket producer group, and together with the food processing unit, we have developed these products further. We have adjusted them to the taste of the consumers, and we have designed these labels here together with the farmers, and now we are trying to connect them to the market, and it's a very new product. It's innovative. None of these products or similar products are available so far in Laos. There's some insect-based chili paste, which is imported from Thailand, but which is based on giant water beetles. But
yes, that's a traditional food there in the north. Yes, that's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's also.
So you adapted it for making it with crickets also.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and we think it's a very nice opportunity to add value to insects, and also to expand the reach of insects to the consumers, and also offer different forms, different food forms.
Laos was classically a country where you gatherer and hunters were active in the insect business, so they collected it from the wild and just eat it like it. How difficult was it to bring in the idea of cultivating insect? Was it a big step, or was it just easy to go?
No, it was relatively easy, and you're completely right. In Laos, still the majority of insects are collected in the wild. In contrast to its neighboring country, Thailand, insect farming is just starting, and it's mainly concentrated around Vientiane area, the capital city. In other areas, I have not seen any cricket farms, but as people like to eat insects here, 97% of people in Laos eat insects. It was very easy to introduce this concept of cricket farming to them, because the collection of wild insects has also limits when it comes to availability, when it comes to accessibility. And so the idea was that when you have a cricket farm in your backyard, then you have, first of all, you can control what you feed to your insects. You can, and you have year-round availability of these insects.
Yeah, that enhances the food security of the people, like a fish pond next to your house where you can go to eat. So what was your personal situation when you came here? How did you enter the entomology factor in your life?
Well, I've been living and working in Southeast Asia for a longer time, also before this project here, and I think 15 years ago I ate the first time insects in Thailand, and I like them very much. So when I was offered to work on this edible insect project here, I was of course very interested, and then we started with this edible insect project, and then we also implemented a new research project on edible insects and their impact on food and nutrition security, which is in the neighboring province of Buri Kamsai.
But originally you come from the veterinarian side, not from the agriculture and not from human medicine. What is your background?
My personal background is in development studies. So
okay.
I'm not a veterinarian.
Oh, not okay.
But I've been working together with my colleague who is a veterinary, and yeah, I've been working also on veterinary focused projects, but they're more on the business side.
So you said that you started 1.5 years ago the project, and it will last another half a year till end of this year. What will be the idea of what's going on with your project when you're not here?
All right. So we have, as I mentioned, we have two projects. So the one project with 16 families who farm crickets. This will come to an end in December. But from our side, from Veterinarians Without Borders, we will still support the farmers.
So the project will go on there as for.
Well, the support will be it will be less time intensive than before. But I'm still based here at the faculty, and the project is located nearby. The farmers have my phone number. And we will still follow up with them. I also visited together with the vice dean of the faculty. We recently visited the agriculture extension and cooperative section of Lao government, and a representative of this section will visit the farmers soon, probably next week, and will offer them to support, to establish them as a legally recognized producer group, together with business training and further support for accessing markets.
So is it profitable to sell crickets here in Laos, because you have to give them expensive chicken feed to eat? In Thailand probably it's also a discussion about whether it's whether you can gain enough money because the feed is too expensive. What is the situation in this kind in Laos?
Yeah, that's exactly the problem at the moment. Normally, commercial chicken feed is used, which is imported from Thailand. It's quite expensive, and of course, this increases the production costs. So one of the main challenges is now also to find an alternative to this expensive and not really sustainable feed. So the answer to your question, whether it's profitable, yes, it can be. Insects are traded at very high prices, mostly in urban areas, in Vientiane, at the markets. The prices there are higher than, or mostly higher than conventional meat from livestock.
Mm-hmm.
But for farmers which are located in more rural areas, it can be difficult to access these markets.
Because of transport and
because of transport, but also because of competition. Just recently, I was informed by a government official that now imports from Thailand have started.
Okay.
And
so they push to the market here now.
Exactly, and the wholesale price is now below the price which was formerly in Laos. So this also threatens some of the cricket producers here.
Yeah.
In the rural areas, the price is relatively low. So this is one of the biggest challenges.
So in what direction goes your research for alternative feed for crickets? What is the alternative?
Well, we haven't started a project yet, but we have been discussing this idea also together with the University of Montreal, which has expertise in food safety, and we have been looking at byproducts from the beer production.
Okay.
Well, they have yeast and spent grains, which are very nutritious, and I've done some small feed trials in my house, and the crickets do eat these byproducts. So the idea is to run feed trials, to run a applied research project, and see whether a cheap and nutritious feed can be produced from that.
It's a collaboration between BLO or because
we have not started the project yet.
Okay.
No, it's just we have been playing around with the research idea and have been looking for potential partners. So the idea was also to take a more holistic approach to this research, looking at not only at the production side, but looking at the food from a food safety perspective, and comparing this feed, the outputs of this feed with commercial chicken feed, and also we can imagine to involve a team of nutritionists, which then look at the nutritional values of the harvested insects,
yes.
Both for commercial chicken feed and then for these byproducts.
What about other insect species that could be probably as a solution also to this problem? I mean, also in Thailand, I have seen that a lot is only focused on this cricket, and it's only the house cricket, it's not the bigger one, and only one species. So is there also a development in direction of diversifying the species for use in cultivation?
Well, yes, we have. I mean, this is another huge research gap. When it comes to edible insect farming, there are huge research gaps. So this has also to be addressed. It has to be looked and assessed which other insect species can be farmed easily and can also provide economic benefits for the farmers.
And with locally produced feed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have not done anything in that direction. We focused firstly on crickets because we were. This was recommended by the Faculty of Agriculture, which had worked before on edible insects, and the recommendation was we should try it first with crickets because they are the most easy to farm insects. But yes, of course, there are many other edible insects available, and some of them could be farmed or also semi-cultivated.
And what kind of insects you're thinking about now? I mean, Laos has had a wide range of edible insects.
Well, I have not a particular species now in my mind, but many Lao people, when they are asked about edible insects, they always say, we like to eat wild insects. Because they associate wild insects with something natural, similar like an organic movement in Europe. They say it's natural.
Naturally grown, without having to cultivate it, yes.
Yes, so taking this into account, it would make, in my opinion, it would make very much sense also to research the semi-cultivation of wild insect species. If you could provide a certain habitat to some wild insect species, and you could cultivate them, then the pressure on wild insect populations would decrease, and you could probably have a product which is appreciated by the consumers.
I think also in Laos, silkworm production is a long tradition, or am I wrong in it? Do they produce silk here also in Laos?
I think they do produce silk. I'm not aware of the scale. And
so the impact to the edible insect market is not that big like in Thailand or China or wherever. They are producing huge amounts, and there's a lot of this material available for as edible insect also.
Yes.
So now this is the first product you made here in the school. What about producing other insect species now? From this old collection of different species that you know here, which are probably the best and easiest to go for the second experiment besides crickets, beetles or flower beetles or rhinoceros beetles or dung beetles or water bugs? There's a huge amount of different species.
I think it's not really easy to answer this question because it depends very much on the local context. Because some species can be the cultivation of some species depend on climatic conditions, and in Laos there are different climatic zones. In the north, for example, it can be very cold. And so it has to be looked in
the life cycles also. Yeah.
Yes, in the local context, into preferences of consumers. So the answer would probably be it depends.
Okay.
It depends. It has to be done much more research. It has to be looked what can be farmed, how can it be farmed efficiently, and then. What are consumer preferences? That's why I cannot give an answer to.
But do you have other species in mind also for production? And with crickets, you know now how it works. It depends on the feed. That is the problematic thing of cricket farming is the feed. Do you have other species of insect in mind for production now?
Well, it could be palm weevils.
Palm weevils, yeah.
It could be, it could be different kinds of.
Are they already cultivated here? Palm weevils also. Salcoworm, yeah.
No, I've not seen them yet, and I'm not aware that they are cultivated. As I said, most species are collected in the wild, but there's also potential for some like these bamboo worms.
Bamboo worm, yes.
As far as I know, there is also a certain technique with which they can be cultivated.
This kind of semi-cultivation that you help them settle inside of these bamboo shoots. Yeah. So have you been there, seeing how they collect them and?
No, I've not had the chance yet to do so. But I've met a local farmer around here. And he had been, he actually told me that he had done some cultivation. I think it must have been some palm weevils. He told me that he drilled holes into tree
trunks of coconut or something, yeah.
Exactly, and then
inoculation of the trunk.
Exactly.
Okay.
But he said he had done this before, but he stopped doing that. So at that time I was also without the translator, so it was a little bit difficult for me to catch what he was saying and what the exact reasons were, why he stopped, and in what scale he cultivated it, and what exact species it was. Except of this, I'm not aware of any other species being cultivated.
Are you aware of the interest in Europe concerning edible insects? Because there is a big discussion in the European Union, Switzerland, all the countries about whether they should allow insects to come into the food market. Do you reflect about this here in Laos also, or is it too far away?
Well, of course, I've been following the news about this, and I've seen with a lot of interest that a lot of new businesses have sprung up. be it insect producer, be it processing businesses, be it, of course, research also in this area. Wageningen University being on the forefront. A new journal has been established, an academic journal. I think it's called Insects for Food and Feed. So yes, of course, it's very interesting, and I hope that insects soon will be allowed as a food, and that they can be accessible to all consumers.
And here, the traditional countries where people eat insects since thousands of years, there's no regulation about.
No, there's no regulation yet.
Is there any intent to make organic certifications also for products in Laos, or is this too early stage of agriculture now?
Well, there has been recently in Vientiane area, there has been a little bit of an organic movement. There are already like two markets, two organic markets where organic products are traded. Also, one of our projects involved crop farmers, and they produced vegetables based on good agricultural practices, and they aim also to reach an organic production.
Labels and labeling it, or is it already labeled as organic, or is there some organizations certifying organic productions here in Laos?
Well, I think there is a certification body from Lao government. So some products already bear this label. Our producer group here, the crop farmers, they have not been certified yet.
So how does the government support you in your work to bring up the theme of cultivating insects?
Well, we have been trying to work closely with local government in our insect project in Bulikam Sai. The main field work with the farmers is done by an officer from the District Agriculture and Forestry Office. Also, the local government there is very aware of these of our insect projects there and is involved. And in the future, I think this is also the way to go to if we think about scaling up insect farming in Laos, is to involve local government.
Just before, when we have been talking outdoors, your office, there was your research partner from the university telling about collecting
grasshoppers.
Grasshoppers, yes. So in some area in Laos, can you explain this project a little bit, or what was happening there?
Well, it was not a project. There was a huge invasion of
an outbreak
of grasshoppers, which affected crop and rice production, and government collected these pests. And
how did they do that? I mean, it sounds like a soldier going out with his gun, shooting down all the grasshoppers.
Well, I think a lot of local people were involved in using nets to catch them, and these were huge amounts of tons of grasshoppers collected. And as far as I remember, some of them were used for fertilizer production, and some of them were also used for sales for human consumption.
Are grasshoppers and other insects available on the market besides crickets?
Yes, we found, for example, at Dong Makai Market, which is a major trading spot of insects and other forest products in Vientiane, we found 22 species.
22 species?
Yes, at that time 22 species of insects were traded, ranging from giant water bugs to different kinds of beetles to
ants, yeah, weaver ants probably.
Weaver ants, yes, yeah, all different kinds. And what you also often see is like wild insect species which have been collected in forests or natural areas, and then they are sold as kind of a potpourri, like a mix.
Okay.
They don't separate the species,
yeah.
but you get like a mix.
Okay.
You can buy a plate and they have like 10 different species, whatever the collector just found.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And what do you do with that? Making a soup or squash it or?
Well, I think the most common way of preparing these insects is to fry them.
Yeah.
But from our insect project in Bolikamsai, we learned that the people also use the farmed crickets, for example, to add them in traditional dishes, in a traditional bamboo soup, for example, or they produced also chili paste with these insects.
So that's this one. So is it one of the problems of insects is the shelf life of them on the market? So what can be done here in a developing country like Laos to enlarge the possibilities for trading them?
Well, one thing is, of course, you can freeze them in a refrigerator. This, of course, depends on the location. In very remote areas, you probably will not find refrigerators.
I've even seen in Thailand people carrying around ice blocks, instead of having a refrigerator. Yeah.
Yes, I mean this is of course also a very common way of cooling the insects by using ice. Mm. So at the markets they are also stored in boxes which contain ice, or they put some ice cubes on the plates. Then another way of extending the shelf life is of course processing the insects. Yep. For example, the cricket chips here.
Yeah. It only contains crickets, nothing else, or also?
No, it contains tapioca starch.
Starch, okay.
And it contains.
Because I can't read it here,
Yeah, it contains some chili and some other spices, and. Yeah, so these cricket chips are dry, of dry matter, so you can keep them for a very long time. And when you want to eat them, you have to deep fry them. So.
Okay. They pop up a little bit.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Very nice. So it's a big task for a developer of food products to see what can be done with the produced insect powder and so on. So what is your next task now? If you finish your project here, what will you do personally? Will you go back to Canada or stay here? Or?
Well, I still hope that we will launch some more projects with edible insects, because, as I said, there are a lot of research gaps, and which I became more and more aware due to my work here. And I would like to address these research gaps. One is like feed. The other would be other edible insect species, food processing or processing of insects. So, and scaling up insect farming also in Laos, and it has a huge potential also in Southeast Asia and other areas where insects are part of traditional diets. So I hope that we will have new projects on that, and also other projects which have to do with livestock health.
So as soon as we're in Europe, it's allowed to trade crickets. It can be a market also for producers in Laos who produce crickets, like this cricket paste or something like that. Do you think about that also?
Well, at the moment our focus is, or our entry point is the generation of income for poor families and improving food and nutrition security. So this is our main focus at the moment. In the future, if there are medium to larger scale cricket farms, if they evolve out of this initial stage, then this might be an idea to look at. But first of all, our focus is here in Laos, and we look at poor families here because we are a development organization.
Well, thanks a lot, Thomas Weigel, for this talk here in a little bit outside of Vientiane on the agricultural campground of the University of Vientiane. I wish you big success with your project here. You're a little bit tired, you said, because there was a 40th anniversary yesterday, or what? What was going on there here?
Exactly, there were 3 days of celebrating the 40th anniversary of the Faculty of Agriculture.
Yeah.
So 2 days there was a research congress was hosted here, where
also about insects, or
no, insects were not part of it.
Okay, this is also side effect of the
but a lot of agricultural research was presented, and then on the third day, this was like the main celebration. It started with student performances, and then there were a lot of booths from the different departments here, and also from some local producers. And in the evening, then there was a traditional dance, and what you may call a big party.
So we missed a lot to hear that.
Yes.
And you go to another province now. What are you doing there?
Well, I'm going this afternoon to Bolikamsai. That's a neighboring province. It's about 3 hours from here. And there we have our other insect farming project. This is the applied research project, which looks at the impact of edible insect farming on household nutrition. And we will do tomorrow there another round of nutrition monitoring. So we will look at how much of the harvested crickets have been consumed by the families, how they consumed it, who within the families consumed it. We try to see like how the produce is also distributed within the household. We got some first results with that, which shows that all participating households, it's 20 in a total, they eat their produce. They eat the crickets, and especially our small children are very fond of that. And so
they know what's yummy. They know what tastes good. It's good for her health, for the health. So it is still a problem, malnutrition here, like in Thailand in the north 40 years ago, where they had a deficiency of protein. Is this still a problem in Laos?
Yes, there's still a big problem, both with malnutrition, like the protein energy deficit, and but also with micronutrient deficiencies.
Okay.
So that's also
vitamins and calcium and whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's also where we see a big potential of edible insect farming contributing to improving this situation.
In north of Thailand, we have seen in the last decades that this had a very good effect on malnutrition there. So hopefully here in Laos you will find the same result. Thank you so much, Thomas Weigel. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.